Phoenix Inujin hesitated for a moment, realizing Zhang Yi could kill Takeuchi Mayumi, but he quickly recognized his mistake. If he could be deterred by a single sentence, he would not be the leader of Eclipse Moon. Takeuchi Mayumi was protected by Fortamanobu Satoru and his 10 black-robed figures. Jinguji Saikairo jumped to his side, a giant bluebird circling in the air, urging Phoenix to get on the bluebird and kill Zhang Yi before reinforcements arrived. Phoenix Inujin jumped onto the bluebird's back, and blood gushed from his fingertips, transforming into dozens of bright red fire crows that flew straight toward Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi hardened his resolve, declaring he would show his temper, and raised his Thunderstrike, a massive white anti-material sniper rifle over 2 meters long, aiming at Takeuchi Mayumi more than 3,000 meters away. He combined Origin Bullet, 20 times speed boost, and precise firing into a 3-in-1 attack. Dozens of fire crows swarmed toward his interdimensional bond, but Zhang Yi ignored everything and pulled the trigger, the roar exploding like a thunderclap. Fortamanobu Satoru had anticipated this shot and waved his hands, causing the 10 black-robed figures to line up, blocking Takeuchi Mayumi's path. These were superhuman puppets created by Fortamanobu Satoru after his brains were emptied, living dead who retained their former powers through active mutated cells. The bullet instantly shattered the first 5 puppets, pierced 3 more, and the 4th caught the Origin Bullet with its skull. Within Zhang Yi's alternate dimension, dozens of fire crows began to dissipate, transforming into poisonous mist that corroded his alternate dimension. However, Zhang Yi remained calm, dividing his space into 10,000 parts to consume Phoenix Inujin's psychic poison. He skillfully reloaded, but Fortamanobu Satoru knew the next bullet would definitely kill Takeuchi Mayumi and shouted for the team leader. Phoenix Inujin, realizing what was happening, stopped and controlled the bluebird to change direction, intercepting the Origin Bullet aimed at Zhang Yi. He stood in the bullet's path, and his body, engulfed in Crimson Lotus karmic flames, was blasted hundreds of meters away, leaving a bloody hole in his chest. Zhang Yi aimed at his head, warning him not to make rash moves. Phoenix Inujin clutched his chest, his naked body looking incredibly muscular, and Zhang Yi suspected he was deliberately causing his clothes to rip. A cold smile appeared on Phoenix Inujin's lips, but he suddenly felt a wave of dizziness and realized what had happened, decisively chopping himself in the temple. The Crimson Lotus flame ignited, and he was reborn. Zhang Yi lamented that he had been discovered. He took out a bullet with an icy blue light, an Origin Bullet coated with a powerful anesthetic. Since he had no way to kill Phoenix Inujin, he planned to anesthetize him and seal him away, but Phoenix Inujin was too alert, committing suicide at the slightest sign of trouble. Zhang Yi raised his Thunderstrike again, and this bullet Phoenix Inujin could not dodge because Takeuchi Mayumi behind him could not. The two were now in a terrifying state of equilibrium. Zhang Yi could not kill Phoenix Inujin with his gun, but Phoenix Inujin would not dare abandon Takeuchi Mayumi and risk everything to kill Zhang Yi. Jinguji Saikairo thought of a solution, saying Zhang Yi's attack power was not strong, and he would block his attacks while Phoenix Inujin killed him. He had Kanemaru take him back to Takeuchi Mayumi's side, and the Shikigami he summoned were replaced with Kanemaru, representing strength among Shikigami, possessing the strongest physique and top-tier defensive capabilities. 9 enormous golden apes completely surrounded Takeuchi Mayumi, leaving no opening for Zhang Yi. With no more worries about his rear, Phoenix Inujin charged at Zhang Yi once more, biting his wrist and spraying blood into the air, transforming it into a sky full of burning fire crows. He unleashed subduing demonic flames, 3,000 crows slaughter. The massive flock of crows let out ominous, deathly cries as they swept away. Zhang Yi's eyes narrowed, a white light flashing in his right eye, and he unleashed divine might. The space before him visibly distorted, and hundreds of meters in front of him were completely cleared, the entire flock of fire crows pulverized. Zhang Yi, Phoenix Inujin, Jinguji Saikairo, and Takeuchi Mayumi formed a delicate balance, with Takeuchi Mayumi at the core. Due to the unique nature of her abilities, she could not leave the battlefield, and attempting to defend against Zhang Yi's sniping with physical objects was impossible. The only way to counter top-tier superhuman sniping was to use superhuman defensive techniques, as no fortifications, tanks, or even mountains could stop Zhang Yi's sniping. Therefore, Jinguji Saikairo could not leave Takeuchi Mayumi's side and had to protect her closely. Even with Takeuchi Mayumi's blood endowment, Phoenix Inujin only managed to draw with Zhang Yi on the battlefield. Phoenix Inujin's greatest ability was immortality, while Zhang Yi's dimensional space was also geared toward defense. The clash between the two was like the impact of two shield bearers, neither could gain the upper hand quickly. However, Phoenix Inujin was clearly more impatient, as Zhang Yi had said the reincarnation squad was on its way. He did not know that Zhang Yi was merely bluffing, as Zhang Yi did not fully trust anyone, including the support promised by Gao Changkong. Zhang Yi quickly scanned the entire battlefield, calculating that he had already held off 2 high-level combatants from Eclipse Moon and created time pressure for them. He was now being stared at intently by Phoenix Inujin, and neither could attack the other's teammates without creating a fatal opportunity. The battle on the ground was equally brutal. On the Tianhai City Allied Forces side, Xiao Honglian, Xing Tian, and others, along with Uncle Yu and Fatty Su, controlled a high vantage point. Uncle Yu took out the GPW-2 anti-material sniper rifle given to him by Zhang Yi, equipped it with origin bullets, and began providing sniper support for the battlefield. He was like a pay-to-win player, relying on the superiority of his weapon to pose a significant threat to any inhuman below the Delta level, with every shot resulting in the death of an ordinary pirate or low-level inhuman. The powerful recoil caused the ground beneath Uncle Yu to crack rapidly, but this was no problem for him. Upon discovering the small group, Canute immediately dispatched one of his leaders with over 100 pirates to charge. Xiao Honglian and Xing Tian exchanged a glance, deciding to help Zhang Yi and the others deal with the smaller fry on the perimeter. A milky white light emanated from Xing Tian's body, and the power of the Xing Tian Legion was bestowed upon the hundreds of men around him. Xiao Honglian calmly instructed his subordinates to prepare for the attack, and the gunners behind him climbed onto the war chariots, revealing more than a dozen cannons aimed at the invading pirates. At Xiao Honglian's command, the cannons roared, but among the pirates, a one-eyed leader sneered and waved his hands, creating a layer of transparent gel material that blocked the pirates. All the bullets and cannonballs were blocked, causing no damage, making Xiao Honglian's gaze turn serious. This pirate leader's strength was definitely above theirs. But Uncle Yu's sniping had also arrived, and the gelatinous barrier formed by his supernatural abilities could not stop the origin bullet, which pierced through and struck the leader, causing his upper body to explode, leaving only his legs standing. Xiao Honglian and Xing Tian were dumbfounded, realizing the origin bullet's power was truly strong. These pirates from the southern seas simply didn't understand the principles of the origin bullet, which embodied the most advanced technology of the Huashu Kingdom's military region and was inherently effective against supernatural abilities, especially for those with emission-type supernatural abilities who lacked particularly strong defenses. Uncle Yu killed a pirate leader with a single blow, and his eyes lit up, feeling exhilarated. Although as a Gamma-level supernatural being his potential was almost locked, that didn't mean he couldn't perform on the battlefield. The number of origin bullets was limited, so Uncle Yu dared not use them indiscriminately. He stood up, put away his sniper rifle, and retrieved a large, heavy black box from the snowmobile beside him. At this moment, the pirates, enraged by the death of their leader, roared and charged towards them, bullets whizzing across the snowy sky. Xiao Honglian and Xing Tian quickly organized a counterattack, but in terms of numbers, especially the number of superhumans, they were significantly outnumbered. If the enemy got close and surrounded them, they might all perish. Just then, Uncle Yu's powerful voice rang out, telling them to get out of the way. Xing Tian and the others looked in the direction of the voice, and the scene before them made their eyes widen in astonishment. Uncle Yu was wearing an extremely strange set of clothing, less a suit of clothing and more a massive, imposing ensemble of highly lethal firearms. It was a black armored combat suit, with 2 machine-mounted Gatling guns on the arms, miniature cannons on the shoulders, and 4 rapid-fire machine guns at the waist. Other visible locations were equipped with spare heavy weapons, and ammunition belts were wrapped tightly around his body. This suit of weaponry would weigh at least 1,000 pounds. Uncle Yu's legs were now deeply embedded in the snow, and he walked forward step by step, letting the pirates' bullets pelt him as if they were mere tickles. Even injuries from heavy weaponry were quickly regenerated by his body. Uncle Yu roared for Fatty Su, who shouted Roger. This wasn't the first time the two had worked together, and they already had a tacit understanding. Fatty Su swiftly unleashed his snowstorm ability, creating a massive blizzard in the direction the pirates were attacking, which had almost no destructive power but was enough to create immense chaos and obstruct the enemy's vision. Uncle Yu, alone, walked to the front of the battle formation, then roared and activated his weapons. Xing Tian deactivated the full Xing Tian Legion ability buff, channeling all his power into Uncle Yu, whose heavy weapon suit then became devastatingly effective against the pirates trapped in Fatty Su's blizzard. High-energy bullets mercilessly tore through the enemy ranks, and in the blink of an eye, large numbers of pirates were shredded to pieces. Uncle Yu roared with satisfaction, his special battlesuit having been custom-created by Liu Karen. Xiao Honglian watched the enemy formation being torn apart with cold killing intent, declaring that the superhumans would be left to her and Xing Tian and their superhuman subordinates. Soon, more than a dozen pirate leaders broke through the snowstorm and attacked them on the front lines. Meanwhile, Daikoku Kainobu and Bailey Changqing arrived at a secluded spot far from the main battlefield, neither wanting to be disturbed. Daikoku had already activated his Beastman transformation, becoming a tide tiger over 3 meters tall, resembling an ancient ape-man with explosive muscles, wielding a heavy dragonfly cutter planted in the ground like a banner. Daikoku grinned, acknowledging Bailey Changqing's reputation as one of the top strength-type experts in the Jiangnan region. Bailey Changqing's eyes darkened, realizing that Eclipse Moon had a spy in Blizzard City, since the enemy knew about them and the fallen Celestial Squad members. Daikoku taunted him, saying he only admired those stronger than him and would tell everything after being defeated. Bailey Changqing declared that he was a soldier, not a warrior, and that his duty was to complete missions and protect his country, so Daikoku must die here. Bailey Changqing popped a pill into his mouth, and a chilling, crimson blood-like aura erupted from his limbs and bones as compound number 5 took effect. He understood that someone in Blizzard City wanted to eliminate them, so they couldn't rely on anyone. To survive and annihilate Eclipse Moon, they had to fight to the death with no way out. Images of Bien Junwo and his fallen comrades flashed through his mind, and he calmly stated, "Only death." Daikoku's pupils constricted as a sense of impending death enveloped him, and he remembered that Takeuchi Mayumi's prophecy was useless this time. Bailey Changqing appeared before Daikoku and delivered a simple straight punch to his chest, sending him flying hundreds of meters, tumbling hundreds of times. Bailey Changqing then kicked him in the face, knocking out several teeth. Daikoku roared in fury, accusing Bailey of being on drugs, which was shameful for a sumo wrestler. Bailey Changqing coldly stated that he was a soldier, and soldiers only care about results, not fairness. He continued his relentless assault, leaving Daikoku battered without a chance to retaliate, mocking him as neon scum who was nothing without the divination priestess's abilities. Daikoku realized he needed to hold out until the drug's effects wore off, so he abandoned direct confrontation and fled, feeling fear for the first time. Bailey Changqing blocked his path with a whip kick to his chest, sending him flying again. Daikoku steadied himself on the snow, his hundreds of kilograms of fat serving as natural armor, and gripped his dragonfly cutter tightly, deciding to use stillness to control movement and counterattack. The halberd slammed heavily onto the dragonfly cutting blade, the shockwave flattening snow and ice within a radius of hundreds of meters. Daikoku Huiyenjin was sent flying, his hands trembling, feeling his weakness and strength for the first time. Bailey Changqing, wielding the halberd in a backhand grip, walked across the snow, the blade sparking against stones. He mocked the Japanese for copying Hwashu culture, referencing Honda Tadakatsu trying to piggyback on Lubu, and ridiculed Japanese people less than 1.5 meters tall calling themselves mighty warriors. He switched to the halberd specifically to counter Daikoku's dragonfly cutter, wanting to show him how the ancients wielded their weapons. Daikoku, unable to bear the taunt, angrily charged forward, and Bailey Changqing coldly stated that in ancient Hwashu kingdom, battlefield competitions were based on overwhelming strength, before which everything else was illusory. Bailey Changqing raised the halberd and charged, and although Daikoku was exceptionally skilled with top-notch combat techniques, defensive capabilities, and endurance, he was being overwhelmed. His 200 kilograms of fat served as the best cushioning agent, preventing Bailey Changqing from killing him quickly. The Fangtian halberd clashed fiercely with the dragonfly cutter, and Bailey Changqing had an absolute advantage, slicing through Daikoku's body multiple times, but only encountering thick layers of fat instead of blood. Bailey Changqing grimaced, knowing that if this dragged on, once the medicine's effects wore off, he would fall into extreme weakness, so he had to finish the battle quickly. On the main battlefield, the duel between Zhang Yi and Phoenix Inujin remained the focus of everyone's attention, as the defeat of either would directly tip the balance of the entire battlefield. Both were feeling uneasy, neither able to gain the upper hand. The key to the battle lay in whether Tengu's squad received reinforcements and the outcomes of the other members' battles. The battlefield was in complete chaos, and Zhang Yi hadn't expected to be betrayed by the Eclipse Moon and Celestial Dragon Pirates alliance. On the Eclipse Moon side, Takeuchi Mayumi's prophetic abilities were sealed because of Zhang Yi's presence, so they couldn't see the battlefield's trajectory clearly. Both were in the air, with Zhang Yi using 2 white owls to engage in a cat-and-mouse battle with Phoenix Inujin, whose close-quarters combat abilities were useless against him. Zhang Yi used Origin bullets and Holy Silver bullets to pick off opponents one by one. Almost simultaneously, both had the same thought: if they couldn't kill their opponent, they would kill their subordinates. Zhang Yi surveyed the battlefield from above, focusing on Daikoku Kainobu, Tsukamoto Nobunaga, and Canute, thinking he could use Lightning Strike to shoot them in the back during their fierce battles. However, he felt a sinister gaze fixed on Liang Yu and Yang Xinxin, and Phoenix Inujin suddenly smiled wickedly, asking if those two were his women. Zhang Yi's anger rose, but he couldn't show it, as that would make him more passive and cause Phoenix Inujin to target them. He calmly said they were just subordinates, and suggested they take turns killing each other's people, glancing towards Takeuchi Mayumi. Phoenix Inujin's smile vanished, as Takeuchi Mayumi was a core member of his fighting force, and he asked if Zhang Yi could get past Jinguji. Zhang Yi said they'd only know once they tried, and a distorted light appeared in his right eye, with Kamui ready to activate. Phoenix Inujin lowered his hat, weighing the pros and cons, but he couldn't afford the cost of losing Takeuchi Mayumi, which would mean losing everything and becoming a second-rate nobody. Zhang Yi was waiting for the right opportunity, as he never enjoyed taking risks. On another battlefield, Liang Yu and Tsukamoto Nobunaga were dueling. Both were top-tier martial artists and masters of the sword. Tsukamoto Nobunaga wielded the legendary Daihanya Nagamitsu, a sword with an illustrious history in Japan, owned by renowned swordsmen and even sword saints. Liang Yu wielded a modern-crafted Tang sword called Ryumiai, made of adamantite, a straight sword that was long, narrow, sharp, and heavy, weighing more than twice as much as the great Hanya Nagamitsu. In Huashu history, swords were weapons for slashing and killing on the battlefield, so they had to be heavy, while in Japan, samurai duels emphasized lighter weapons for faster drawing speed.